What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 news. Or should I say, I'm dragging myself in. This flu is absolutely destroying me, man. But today, nonetheless, we've got Destiny stuff to talk about. So, a few updates from Bungie, including some important notes about the Seraph Shield mission. We're also going to talk about hidden chests and ways that you can get access to some of them early in the new mission. Plus new collectibles and an additional exotic reward. On top of this, a Lunar New Year bundle that's coming up in January. And then we get more hints and teasers about Bungie's future games. Some big names joining the Bungie team, and a few other things which we'll break down in the video. So, as always guys, I hope you enjoy this one today, but without further delay, let's get into it. And so starting out, before we touch on content for this week, another quick reminder for Stadia players, and Bungie Help said, be sure to activate cross-save now. On January 18th, Stadia will shut down and players will lose access to their Destiny 2 characters if cross-save isn't set up. And if you happen to be a Stadia player, I'll link that tweet down below, as you'll want to be sure to activate cross-save as soon as possible to avoid losing your account. Up next though, over the weekend, in the Trials of Osiris, players were able to get multiple adept weapons after going flawless one time. And so Bungie Help said, we're aware of an issue where players are able to purchase multiple adept weapons with a single passage after going flawless. We're investigating a fix and will provide updates when we can. And with last week being the first trials of the season, we're not sure whether it's possibly a bug that we're going to see repeat itself again this weekend. And so just a heads up, it may be something to look out for as we go into trials on Friday. But then talking about new content for this week, Bungie Help said, we're investigating a problem causing the West Quadrant control room key not to drop for some players during Operation Seraph Shield. And to mitigate this, players are encouraged to defeat enemies at a slower pace when progressing through this portion of the mission. I know a few people were affected by this. I believe the key was dropping, but was actually falling through the map or something like that. And it's frustrating if it does happen, as you have to start the mission again. So just bear that in mind. But inside of Operation Seraph Shield, where of course we obtained the Revision 0 exotic pulse rifle, there are quite a few secrets and things to find, many of which are going to unlock in the future. But there are a couple of hidden chests, one of which we can get access to earlier than intended. And so one of them around the time where you acquire the quadrant key code. There's a room blocked off by lasers. We're not supposed to be able to get into it just yet, but it is actually possible to shoulder charge through these lasers, or to use an eager edge sword, which allows you to swipe through. You can go ahead and open the chest in this room, which drops weapons from Season of the Seraph. Also in this room, there's one of the destructible drones. And then there's another hidden chest in the final room of the mission. It's in a little side room on the right-hand side, but it is blocked by a door. However, that door can be opened by destroying drones early on in the mission with a scanner buff, very much like we did in Beyond Light. So if you want the locations for both of those chests in a bit more depth, I'll link a video from 360 Game TV down in the description box. There are also new resonance amp locations inside of the mission. And if you open these, we get guaranteed Ikelos deep sight weapons. That's certainly pretty cool and something else to bear in mind. So I'll link another video down below with all of the locations for those. And as we've discussed recently, there are 50 security drone locations inside of Season of the Seraph. The security drones can be destroyed with the Revision 0 pulse rifle. Some of the drones are actually not accessible just yet as they're hidden in the Seraph Shield mission, but we do know that after you destroy all 50 of the drones, we get access to the Archangel's refed exotic Sparrow, and that has a pretty cool Warmind trail on it. It's also a triumph for the seal. So if you want to start hunting those down, I'll link all of the currently known drone locations from a Scarrow video down in the description. As we discussed in our video yesterday though, there's another secret that we've yet to find inside of the mission. And spoiler alert, I guess, but it's a mechanical dog, according to a couple of triumphs in the database, so there's Guardian's best friend to find the mechanical dog in the mission Operation Seraph Shield. And then another, called Yes, You Can Pet the Dog, to pet the mechanical dog in the helm during the final weeks of the season. So a random little Easter egg or secret right there that we're going to find in one of the future weeks. Of course, for Revision 0 and the mission itself, we did post a guide yesterday, so you can check that out if you want to. But let us know your thoughts on the weapon or the new activity. The highlight for me is absolutely the new mission itself, especially the insane skyboxes in the jumping puzzle section. It's really cool to get a look at Earth from outer space, and of course the Traveler. And yet again, Bungie absolutely smash it out of the park with these skyboxes in game. Moving away from that content this week though, it will be Lunar New Year on the 22nd of January 2023, and that will be Year of the Rabbit, and it looks like Bungie are going to have a little bit of a celebration for that. So there's a new emblem called Jade's Burrow, which we've touched on previously. It says unlocked by a special offer, but of course, we've got the Jade Rabbit icon right there. And additionally, it looks like Eververse is going to get a reward package, which is the Year of the Rabbit bundle. Looks like it will be a silver purchase though, based on the description, but it's going to contain the Lunar Lagomorph shell, a really cool kind of Jade Rabbit ghost there, as well as the Moonshadow Hop exotic ship, and the Rabbit's Chase exotic sparrow. So if you need some rabbit-themed items in your life, I would assume around the 22nd of January is when this is going to drop. So it's something I'll keep you posted on. Next though, a couple of things related to Bungie's future projects. And Joe Ziegler, the former game director for Valorant, has now joined Bungie as well. And he said, happy to announce my new home is at Bungie, working on new stuff that hopefully will one day get to be played by all of you. And looking back a few months, Bungie had posted a job listing for a game director, stating that they'd be responsible for the creative vision of a new PvP first product at Bungie. And your job is to forge the gameplay mechanics, systems, narrative, and social opportunities into a unified whole that sing in harmony. Plus to lead the creative effort of project leadership teams to define clear product pillars for design, art, narrative, and engineering, requiring a deep understanding of competitive PvP games and how to innovate around that space. So very interesting. It looks like Bungie have also brought on board folks who've previously worked on stuff like Apex Legends Mobile. And so we're starting to get a sense of the kind of thing that Bungie may be working on right there. This may actually be a separate project though, to another that Bungie have outlined, which is a brand new third-person action game. And another job listing recently suggests that Bungie will be working with the Tiger engine, which is the same game engine that Destiny 2 runs on, in order to develop that title. And it's also known that Bungie appear to be working on a third-person loot extraction game. There were leaks a few months back as well, that this would be a revamp of the Marathon series, which of course is a very old Bungie game. And so as time goes on, we're getting more and more concrete information about two separate future Bungie projects. And they're bringing in some very high-profile developers who've worked on other absolutely huge game titles. However, whether Bungie's plan to release one of those titles by 2025 will come to fruition is something we'll have to keep our eye on. Pretty crazy though, the idea that within 2 or 3 years we could potentially see another Bungie title. So give us your thoughts below. And finally, Bungie continue to crack down on cheat manufacturers, and in 2021, Bungie filed a lawsuit against Ring 1, who've been selling cheats for various titles, and they've actually teamed up with Ubisoft on this now, and are seeking $2.2 million in damages from the company. They also anticipate that at least 4,000 Destiny 2 players have used Ring 1 cheats, and nearly 2,500 of those accounts have been completely banned. But obviously, if the two firms are successful in that lawsuit, it will undoubtedly be very damaging to Ring 1. And honestly, I'm all for that, as cheats in games like Destiny 2 PvP games, but also investment titles in general, are incredibly damaging. Obviously, it's a bit different if you're cheating in a single-player game or something, but arguably more damaging in a game like Destiny 2. So that's something else that we'll keep our eye on. And I'll link the relevant articles from the Game Post and Destiny Bulletin down in the description box. But for today, guys, that is everything that we have to speak about. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed this one. And if you have, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Also, feel free to get subscribed if you want to see more Destiny content. But otherwise, for today, I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll catch you guys very soon.